Well, Keiynan, it is so good to see you. I'm so excited about Step Up Season 3. We've been waiting a long time for it. STARZ picked it up after, we thought there wasn't going to be any more. Here you come, you play Tal. The first episode, we get, from the very first scene we see you, we get to know a lot about him. But tell me what it means for you. I mean, to be going into this series that is beloved, obviously, from the film, but also to be playing such a cool, queer character.
Yeah, I mean, it was nothing short of amazing to be able to dance again and be able to jump into a role that was like so demanding of both the story as well as the movement. And I love, dancers are my favorite people. And I think Tao is an amazing character. So I really wanted to honor what was done in the first 2 seasons and embody this young man who's in a really still a coming of age point in his life and transitioning into taking full ownership of who he is and what he stands for in his voice. While also figuring out what he's capable of by being thrown constantly in the deep end. I feel like my life has been a lot of that. It's been just like being thrown in the deep end and like trying to doggy paddle or like swim a little bit, do a bit of freestyle. So that is like Tao right now. That's where we find him. And stressful but incredible and heavily inspiring, and I had a blast.
So Tal is the lead dancer coming into this. A lot of pressure, a lot at stake. How are we going to see that play out through the season? The season's just begun. There's 10 episodes coming. Sunday nights at 10, of course, on STARZ. Without spoiling too much, how are we going to see kind of him navigate being the lead and kind of taking all of this on?
Well, I think what it is like, saying like he's going in the deep end is then he's realizing he's not just a dancer, he's not just even choreographing, he's stepping into these other roles in production. Like in the first episode, we find him straight in having to stage manage basically, so he's now got to coordinate the show, he's got to take care of the other dancers and the other stars at this space, and he's now dealing with all these different personalities and egos and behind the scenes, drama that he can't just think of the movement, he's got to think of the entire picture. I think it's really training him up to find like, okay, who am I as a creative in general. So I think it's really a season of empowerment for Tao, for true empowerment.
Yeah, I mean, and thinking about this series, of course, inspired by the film, it is of course about performing, it is about dance, all of those things. But I think with this series, there's so much more to it. There are important conversations among people of color, among Black communities specifically. What do you want, especially with your character coming in, that people tune into the show? What do you want them to take away from that?
Hopefully a lot of different layers. With Tal in particular, I mean, I do get to represent this young gay man, young gay Black man. I want them to be able to see the nuances and the layers of him learning to speak up. And like I said, to take ownership. I think there's also a lot of bravado around him. A lot of that energy that he has to sort of like navigate and remain true to who he is, and to sort of cut through and figure out the life that he's gonna have that might look different to everybody else's around him. And to find the joy in that, and to not maybe be up in his head as much as he's had to be to protect himself. So to be able to let go, I'm excited for people to to watch the journey of him, you know, quite literally having to step up to the plate. It is what it is. But also to free himself, let go.
I love that. And I think, you know, like you said, with your character, Tal, a Black gay man, I really hope that, you know, I still think that there's a lot of important conversations that need to be had when it comes to being gay and being Black. And I hope that viewers, you know, really are inspired and open up their hearts and minds. So I'm really happy about that. But for you, like, this show is, when I saw the first episode, I had forgotten how it's pretty gritty. It's, you know, it's pretty edgy, which I hate that word, but it is, and I love it. And I think, you know, there's some steamy scenes too. Like, I imagine those aren't probably as fun to shoot as we all think they are. Is it something that you are comfortable with by now, or is it still something you're dreading? Like, I mean, I'm like, I don't think I could ever do that.
I'm pretty sure the first scene I shot was a steamy scene. That was my introduction.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're comfortable. You try to laugh. You know, through rehearsals, we've also got these face masks, which is really not that sexy. You know, and then you gotta like quickly turn it into something really sexy. So, I've done a few steamy things in my past, but it's just about like feeling safe with the other actor, and you know, with the crew and the director, and that's always like a new thing, you know, it's new people, so you do start to feel vulnerable. And also at the same time, like, you know, this was my first time being Tal, so it's like Tal in that space, you know, is also extremely vulnerable. So it's a bunch of different things going on. But you're right, the show it's extremely gritty, and I think this season more than ever, with everything that's going on. And I love the combination of that with dance, because dance is often shown as a lot less gritty and a lot less real at times. And you know, I grew up as a dancer. I know that dance is the majority of what makes up my community, my friend group from multiple countries. And you know, I love that we get to see what's happening beyond the dance as well.
I love that. And you said multiple countries, and of course I'm thinking next year you are going to be dancing, performing, singing, Sydney Pride, World Pride. I mean, I know you were so excited about that. I'm thrilled. I got to figure out how I can get myself over to Sydney in March. But I mean, what's the game plan? How do you, I mean, I know for you, obviously being Australian, it's a huge deal, and it's a huge deal for the World Pride.
I'm so excited. I'm really thankful that like Step Up was such a high intensity show to film, and it really made me get my ass together in terms of my body, my fitness, my dancing, my stamina, so that I can feel like I've been able to keep that up and keep going, to be able to be excited and confident for something like World Pride. So you can expect a lot of dancing. There's going to be some new music because I'm working on a new album.
Yes.
And I'm going to be working with some of Sydney's best of the best, you know, creatives here, and I can't wait. Like, this is where I started everything, and so it's been amazing to reconnect to the community here, and I'm just trying to use everything, all the knowledge and wisdom I've learned and gained from the beautiful people I've worked with, and the stories I've been able to tell, to be able to narrate something of my own on the stage.
That's going to be epic. I can't wait. So yeah, I mean, everyone follow along. Countdown to March for that at Sydney Pride. That's going to be so cool. You know, thinking about all that you've done, you know, and, you know, you're still so young, but I mean, you know, you're very intentional with the films you make, with the TV shows that you do, with the music videos, the music you put out. What do you want to what do you want next? Like, what's the dream? What do you want to just put out there that you hope happens in your career?
I want to tour the world. I want to be able to put together a stage show that sort of like merges all the worlds that I love, you know, between dancing, acting, telling stories, and music. That's why Step Up was such an amazing experience. And you know, we're literally, you know, we're going on, we're traveling, we're going on a tour straight away in the opening episodes. But yeah, that's my dream, and I'm so excited. So like, getting to put together these shows in the past couple of years, whether in LA or now with Sydney World Pride, I get to develop that and see, okay, like what would I bring to the table that I get to travel around the globe with, especially now that we're open again. It just makes me so happy, and I feel like I'm a lot more confident in myself and in sort of how I want to tell these stories on stage and connect to people, and that's always kind of been my dream. So it feels like we're here. So my job is to just keep on making music, keep on telling stories, and keep on, you know, kicking my ass in the gear.
I love that. Well, we're here for it. Keiynan, it is so good to see you. And just a reminder, everyone, you can catch new episodes of Step Up. It is back finally. We're so excited. Sunday nights, new episodes at 10 on STARZ. And get ready for Sydney World Pride in March of 2023.
Woo.